Hi there. We're in day 145 hour through the New Testament in 1 year. And today we are starting John chapter 9. Okay? Jesus had just finished the festival of booths and telling all of the Pharisees that they don't know God. Okay? They did not take kindly to that, so he disappeared. Okay. As he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth, and his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, It was not that this man sinned or his parents, but that the works of God might be displayed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me while it's day. Night is coming when no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Having said these things, he spit on the ground and made a mud with the saliva. Then he anointed the man's eyes with the mud and said to him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which means sent it. So he went and washed and came back seeing. Okay? The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar were saying, Is this not a man who used to sit and beg? Some said, It is he. Others said, No, but he is like him. He kept saying, I am the man. So they said to him, Then how are your eyes open? He answered, The man called Jesus made mud and anointed my eyes and said to me, Go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed and received my sight. They said to him, Where is he? He said, I do not know. They brought to the Pharisees a man who had formerly been blind. Now it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and opened his eyes. Right? So the Pharisees again asked him how he had received his sight, and he said to him, He put mud on my eyes, and I washed, and I see. Some of the Pharisees said, This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. But others said, How can a man who is a sinner do such things? And there was division among them. So they said again to the blind man, What do you say about him, since he has opened your eyes? He said, He is a prophet. The Jews did not believe that The Jews did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight, until they called the parents of the man who had received his sight and asked them, Is this your son, who you say was born blind? And then, how then does he see? His parents said, We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. But he now sees. We do not, nor do we know who opened his eyes. Ask him. He is of age. He will speak for himself. His parents said these things because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had already agreed that if anyone should confess Jesus to be Christ, he was to be put out of the synagogue. Therefore, his parents says he is of age. Ask him. Right. They take the rules a little too literally, working on the Sabbath. Okay. Now they performed circumcisions on the Sabbath. Okay, which according to the law of Abraham was work. Okay, that was work. And it was a healing. It healed the person, right, that was getting circumcised, made him closer to God. And Jesus said previously, You work on the Sabbath, but I do a good thing and heal somebody on the Sabbath, and you call me a sinner. Right. So it's all about the healing the blind man, born blind. And they already hate Jesus, okay? And they will, because, right, Jesus said, because of your father, the devil. Right. Well, there you go. We'll mark that as complete. And I like to look ahead if I can get it to work. There you go. 24 through 41. All right. And they're going to continue with the man born blind, right? Give glory to God, we know that this man is a sinner. He answered, Whether he is a sinner, I do not know. One thing I do not know, that I was blind and now I see. Right. They said, Then what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? He answered, I have told you already, and you would not listen. Right. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you also want to become his disciples? Oh, that's funny. And they reviled him, saying, You are his disciple. Saying, I see tomorrow will be very short. Okay? Now we're getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we? So, there you go. That's day 145. Okay, we're almost halfway through, right? The New Testament. It's still in the Gospels, which is cool. Great place to be. So, we should study these every day anyways. So, there you go. Catch up on any you may have missed and give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll do it again. See ya.